That's why there was no way Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss were ever going to add extra years to your contract. You were miffed and hurt over that? Seriously? Delusionally? You were very fortunate that they went ahead and gave you the $52.6 million option year, which of course you jumped at instead of becoming a free agent, which you could have been. But now that it seems you've suddenly taken up golf at age 40, as you approach year 23 in the NBA, is this the first signal you're preparing for life after basketball? Year 23, that sacred number worn by your hero and mine, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, that year 23 will be your last year in the NBA, LeBron? Is that the message? Is that the takeaway from you taking up golf?
Skip Bayless talks about LeBron James retiring. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
My old friend LeBron Raymond James Sr.
BFF.
I read this the other day in The Athletic, and I quote, amid the constant speculation recently about LeBron James's future, both the Lakers and people close to the NBA's all-time leading scorer expect that he will be with the organization for training camp.
Obviously.
Once the season begins this fall, league sources told The Athletic, period. End of statement. And I say, well, duh. I've been trying to tell you so for what, about a month now? No matter how much LeBron huffs and he puffs and he bluffs, he's going nowhere.
Yeah, it's obvious Bron ain't going nowhere. This is all a part of his media plan to get all the attention during the offseason. He's bluffing, he's capping. He has his puppet, Rich Paul, going out there looking crazy, putting out these random statements that LeBron wants to win a championship. But at the same time, he opted into that $52 million deal, which hindered the Lakers. They had to settle for talent like Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton. Not bad players, but you could have did a lot better if LeBron took as less as possible, maybe the $15 to $20 million range. You release all those players, and now you open up the cap space to sign another all-star player. But again, LeBron, he's capping right now. He ain't going nowhere.
He brilliantly took the onus and the focus off 3 straight choking fourth quarters, and of course games 3, 4, and 5 against Minnesota. And he successfully delivered the message to his billions of blind witnesses that he still wants to win a championship now, even if the Lakers want to slowly rebuild around Luka. You pulled it off, LeBron, but no. The point is, it's that the Lakers aren't sure they can win a first-round playoff series with you.
Yeah, I think that's obvious. They don't really know what's going on with LeBron, if he's going to be able to deliver in the playoffs. He's been tanking over the last few years, hasn't been playing good. He'll start off the first quarter decent, but he's nowhere to be found when it counts the most. Luka can only do so much. They don't have other parts on that team that can, help carry the Lakers. LeBron isn't dependable as of right now. Solid career, but what do you expect from LeBron that usually tanks under pressure? That's why he went to Miami. That's why he had to rebuild the Cavs to put players around him to keep him afloat when he falls off during the game. So if you're the Lakers, I think you should work on a buyout with LeBron or a trade. Try to get him out that organization as soon as possible. But again, I doubt it's going to happen.
With you going 27 straight fourth quarter minutes in games 3, 4, and 5 without scoring a single point, you, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, went more than half of a game. 27 straight fourth quarter minutes over 3 fourth quarters, scoring nothing.
Jordan
LeBron. That's why there was no way Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss were ever going to add extra years to your contract. You were miffed and hurt over that? Seriously? Delusionally? You were very fortunate that they went ahead and gave you the $52.6 million option year, which of course you jumped at instead of becoming a free agent, which you could have been.
Yeah, LeBron should be lucky at age 41, soon to be, making $52 million, possibly in his last season, but he's still pouting and complaining, being a diva, that they didn't want to offer him a contract, even though they're denying it. If they would have offered him a contract extension, he damn near would have took that deal quick without even looking at the deal. He would have just signed it because he knew he was going to make, 40 to 50 plus million if they redid that contract. So all the complaining LeBron is doing, trying to change the narrative, doesn't want to be second fiddle to Luka. He hasn't been in these territories, these waters before, being a second option on the Lakers, not being called in for meetings. They're building the team around Luka. Luka reached out to Marcus Smart, possibly reaching out to other players. And don't be surprised if Luka trades Bronny James.
You want to retire a Laker because you believe you were born to be a Laker in Hollywood, where your second career will commence if it hasn't already. In Hollywood, where you and your wife are building a forever hilltop home high above Beverly Hills. Congratulations. But to me, here's the new X factor you've recently inserted into your basketball equation, and that is golf. Instead of going back to the basketball lab, it sounds to me like you're now in the golf lab trying to learn to play the world's hardest game at age 40.
Yeah, call him Le Jordan, Le Golfing, trying to do everything in his power to keep up with the GOAT Michael Jordan, but it's not going to work. Stick to basketball, LeBron. Stick to the podcast. Do what you got to do in that realm. You trying to be a golfer now. Again, you're trying to prepare for the retirement stages, but it ain't going to work out. I don't see LeBron James doing anything significant in golfing like a Steph Curry and other players during and post careers, but it's obvious LeBron James wants to be like Michael Jordan.
I warned you about this a couple of shows ago. Golf is as addictive as it is difficult and incredibly time-consuming. I'm sure you figured this out. It takes, 4 to 5 hours to play 18 holes. Now you're taking lessons. I know you're taking lessons. I know you're practicing for hours and hours in ways you've never practiced, making free throws, of course.
Facts.
And obviously.
Throwing shots.
And yeah, I know Steph is a big golfer, but he's been playing at a high level since he was a kid. Steph still believes he can compete professionally. Tony Romo, my ex-Cowboy quarterback, fell into that trap when he was trying to play quarterback for my Cowboys. Tony had always been a very good golfer since he was a little kid. And he suddenly wanted to qualify for the U.S. Open, which took so much time and focus away from football, even in the offseason.
Yeah, LeBron James, if he ever qualifies for a U.S. Open or a tournament, I guarantee he'll crack under pressure. If he has to make a birdie or whatever the shots are to win a game, he's not going to be able to win. He don't want that golf smoke. I don't think that's what LeBron wants. He better just stick to playing for fun, learning, trying to get coached up, but don't ever try to enter a tournament because he'll crash under pressure.
But now, LeBron, I even hear you were out playing at the club I belong to, the best golf course, best golf club in Los Angeles, California. I'm talking about Brentwood Country Club. I've seen JJ Redick out there. Maybe you played with him. I've seen DeAndre Jordan and Russell Westbrook. Maybe you played with them. I did say in a previous show, I'd love to see you out at Brentwood, and I'm pleased and proud that you did experience the golf course and the camaraderie at that club. It's a great place. But now that it seems you've suddenly taken up golf at age 40, as you approach year 23 in the NBA, is this the first signal you're preparing for life after basketball?
Most likely. Usually when players start golfing, especially toward the tail end of their career, that's usually a smoke signal, like get ready for their retirement. And again, LeBron, he may have a season or two left. Maybe he wants to play with Bryce in 2026 when he's eligible. But outside of 2026, I can see LeBron James retiring either this season or next season.
Is this the first indication that year 23, that sacred number worn by your hero and mine, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, that year 23 will be your last year in the NBA, LeBron? Is that the message? Is that the takeaway from you taking up golf? I mean, at 6 feet 9 inches tall, you're obviously not thinking about playing pro golf.
Doubt it.
Your eyes are just too far away from that tiny little golf ball way, way, way down there. So, and yet LeBron, golf is even more than scratching competitive itch, because it's a great way to hobnob with studio heads. I'm sure you've thought about
Good
that.
networking.
But the question I have is, have you finally decided this is it? This year is it? That the Lakers will almost certainly force you into retirement? Because there's no way you want to go finish elsewhere.
Now, for sure, this is LeBron's last season in LA. Now, as far as LeBron retiring after this season or going to another team, that's more likely. But him resuming his career after this season with the Lakers, I think it's a wrap. The Lakers are letting LeBron know, like, no contract extensions. Go ahead, get your $52 million. If a buyout happens, cool. If a trade happens, so be it. But as far as LeBron James continue his career with the Lakers after this season, it's over. If you want to play with Bryce, go to Utah or go to Atlanta, wherever he gets drafted, if he gets drafted. But as far as LeBron being a Laker moving forward, it's officially over.
That's my takeaway. That's what it feels like to me right here, right now. The only way to prolong your career in LA would be to show the Lakers in next year's playoffs that you can play a crucial role in helping carry them on a deep, deep playoff run. But and I know you haven't been capable of doing that for really the last 3 years. You play too many minutes during the regular season. You build in the excuse, well, I just ran out of gas. And you do run out of gas, as you did against Denver 2 years in a row and against the T-Wolves this year. But rebuilding yourself into a player who could help carry the Lakers on a deep, deep playoff run would require living in the lab, the basketball lab, right here, right now. Not just for a few minutes like you did. I think you're up in New York, so your people can doctor up the shirtless shooting video. The blind witness will say, oh, he still got it.
Live full.
What did that take you? 15 minutes of shooting? Jump shots, not free throws, jump shots.
Yeah. Working on those
I'm
free
just
throws.
not sure you want to make that kind of commitment to basketball anymore, Bron.
Yeah, it's obvious. LeBron, he's just out here pushing narratives, golfing, trying to be Le Jordan, doing everything in his power to try to take the attention away from the Lakers and make it about him. Forget about Luka. Let's talk about LeBron James. Is he going to retire? So this is the type of talks that we're going to experience throughout the offseason. So if he finishes out his career with the Lakers this season and then next season during the offseason in 2026, we're going to hear this whole thing all over again. Is LeBron going to retire? Is he going to return to Cleveland? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But again, I can see LeBron James finishing out the year with the Lakers. But as far as next season in 2026, will he retire? That's the ultimate question. We'll find out sooner than later.